All right, so yes, I know how it looks right now. Yes, I'm back home just literally like for 2 3 days, and then just go back to the apartment. But for now, I'm trying to pre-record whatever I can. I was supposed to get this out earlier, and I know you guys can see in the background. Yes, so I'm looking at Tsiah's Fate memorial movie analysis. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen my reaction to that, yeah, definitely go make sure to check that out. But yeah, just go ahead, look at this for a good 20 minutes, see what the movie and everything going on, yeah, how deep they really went into this, and just yeah, the animation, art style, and all that, whatever he's gonna talk about here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna try and get some more Tsiah, and yeah, I know I've been trying to get Otaku, yeah, because it's just like on and off, right, with the Magecraft. So yeah, I know you guys can see I'm trying to get that out now, especially since I really don't have Fate episodes to really look at right now. So yeah, I'm gonna just try and get those easier videos, just simply react, not too much editing, and then just get it out for you guys. But other than that though, hope you guys will enjoy this. Make sure you like, subscribe, and yeah, let's just see what this analysis is all about. Okay, so yeah, I know I'm always talking about the audio, but now that it can be at least a little bit more louder, I think I should have it on the right settings. Yeah, back to what I used to have it on. So I think Tsiah, he's gonna be down a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna just try and have whatever the best audio I can have for you guys here. But
all right, so
let's just get right into this.
To go through this, I did see some of it myself. I saw a couple clips that were coming down
let's see.
And it was actually so good that I had to back out because I didn't want to ruin the experience before I just sat down and dissected everything all together. This is by far one of the best Fate trailers I've seen. It's so artsy.
One of the
and
best.
A lot of people don't necessarily choose to take that direction often. It says a lot in a very short time, and it does it without having any dialogue. There's nobody talking. There's just a song playing in the background, and
that's
it's
all it is.
Extremely powerful. I feel like this is one of those videos that you can show to anybody when you want to show them what Fate is all about. Or FGO. This is that all-encompassing work. And I was so interested on who did this that I actually went into the credits and I found that it was Hiromatsu
Okay.
Shu. He was the one that did the main storyboarding for this and the unit direction. Excellent job on his part, and I want to go through this to see if we can break some of this down scene by scene. So starting off with the first scene, and that song is incredible, by the way. The song, the transitions, the art style, everything just flows together seamlessly. Immediately you have this golden spear that's a portrayal of Earth itself.
Yeah, I'm like, that was crazy.
And it's slowly being eclipsed in the background. And then you see a sudden transition with the lighting.
Nah, that was crazy right there.
Turns into a holy grail, and it looks really dope because the way that it spins, now that globe looks like the inside of the cup. And then we see a bunch of armaments from the servants that we know. We see Joan's banner and a cross because she was a saint. If you look at the cross, you'll notice that it's burning the same way that Joan left the world when she was burned at the stake in her light. This is a direct symbol of that. We see the sword of Alexander the Great, and we also see on the coin, which stems from his background. He did have his own silver and gold coins in his time. The difference being that Alexander had a set of horns on his that were meant to depict that he's the son of the Egyptian god Amun-Ra, chief god, god of the sky. And And most importantly, he's an equivalent to Zeus, which goes back into him having that connection in fate. There's also versions that outright have Zeus on them, and the coins were made by his right hand, his bodyguard Lysimachus. There were millions of them put into effect throughout the entirety of their region to not only honor Alexander, but further enforce the fact that he truly was his successor. You got the Spear of Karna, and then you'll see one of his earrings, and you'll notice that his earrings actually look like wheels. They look like
could even
to represent him being the son of a charioteer.
See all that in a short amount of time.
Cloak that he usually has in the background to say that he's the son of Surya. And following right behind it, you have the bow of Arjuna, Agni, the flower layered on top of it to represent his name, which is the fact that he's the shining hope. And then there's a double meaning. If you notice at the end of the flower, it actually has this screw design, which makes it look exactly like the design of his arrow. The flower also looking like the flame that surrounds the arrow, since the bow does come from the flame god anyway. They quickly switch over to Castoria's staff, her armament being the staff of selection, which would act as the equivalent to Caliburn as her LB6 counterpart. The staff is also a reference to Merlin due to its similarity and the fact that he's the one that partly raised her and watched over her. And then of course it cast out the embodiment of her eventually becoming the holy sword itself, the blood spilling and quickly going into the helmet to show her sacrifice. Then you got Hassan with his sword, as well as the skull layered on top of it to show his association with the Hassans, and also how he stands between life and death itself as an individual. And then we see a broken Excalibur starting to slowly come into form with a huge explosion in the background, and all of this starts to slowly go into Mash's shield, which, as we know, has always meant to represent a milestone in our journey, considering that it distributes and it receives information. Her shield is created from a part of the round table itself, so it only makes sense that they go hand in hand.
I still gotta look at the round table,
in the waters, white hair, dark skin, and they're viewing off into the distance.
I think there's something else too.
Looks a lot like the Isle of the Dead. The Isle of the Dead is a painting made by a Swiss artist, Arnold Backlund. The painting looks exactly like the scene. The Isle of the Dead was created near a cemetery. It was near Arnold's studio, so that inspiration flowed into his work while he was making it. You can see the same cypress trees peeking out through the middle, and then the two cliffs on the side having it caged in. And then we have a cutoff where we slowly start to see Artoria come in from the side. She's wearing her crown, but you notice that she's sleeping. And the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this is something I always bring up. Of course, the once and future king, Arthur, was said to have never died and be in slumber until Britain needs him the most. And as you can
all
see,
of this in like the first like 10 seconds
encapsulate the world needing her, which sets up the foundation for her being the center of this entire trailer.
I wouldn't even know all of this.
The mascot of the franchise in general.
From the painting and
Face, as well as Serenity, lighting incense, praying to King Hassan off to the side. The scene after that naturally is Lysimachus, and you'll see that he's weeping to give you that sense that Alexander has passed away, and you can see how this is affecting him mentally, coupled with all of the people around him.
I did not see that.
Together. And then the next scene goes straight back into Alexander to show that
I can see it.
The next one is a scene that really caught me by surprise, and that is the addition of Frankenstein. She's holding a hand and she's peering down at a body, but they never show you who this person is.
Oh, that was a body.
If you know her background, you know that this is Victor Frankenstein.
It's blending in right there.
This is part of her story where Victor had chased her all the way to the North Pole to get rid of her, and he ended up passing because of it. Naturally, this is a fate interpretation, so it's a little different, but you can see that she also mourns her own creator because all she ever wanted to do was be normal, and the only thing
that's all it ever is
a corpse. And that's the part where the skeleton comes in. I also like how they layered this scene with the pan out going down the middle, but still casting these images off to the side. Next one, you have Joan, and then her counterpart Jalter. Joan having her eyes closed, as she is a person that, though she was treated unfairly, is it's understood that she accepted what happened to her wholeheartedly because that's what she stood for.
Oh,
when
yeah.
She took up her banner. Whereas you have Jalter slowly looking directly into the camera to show us that she feels the exact opposite, and she has.
Yeah, she like, I'm not like that.
Really be expressed in words. You have Merlin all alone, hanging off a cliff in about face, and this kind of goes to show his clairvoyance. He's off from the distance from everybody else in the world, but at the same time, he's always watching. And the cliff almost gives this idea of this bird's eye view to symbolize that. We got some gorgeous shots between Victoria and Mash, a scene with Joan looking off into the distance, Hephaestion slowly following beside Alexander the Great as they go off into battle. Alexander doing a lot of warming up to him to show just how much he mattered in his life. And you'll also notice the exact same horse that Alexander had as a phantasm in Zero. Again, we have Merlin, but this time he's actually looking at the screen, and you can see the rest of the knights in the scene. Lancelot's right in front of him, Tristan, Gawain with his horse, and then Bedivere. The Dream Team, come on, man. And this is also super meta. You'll see that Mash is now looking at the exact scene that was just portrayed in the other shot, with Merlin and the rest of the knights of the round, primarily showing Lancelot and Merlin, because again, Mash is part Galahad, so naturally, as the child of Lancelot, looking him up in particular means a lot to her. Great close-ups featuring both Karna and Arjuna. You can see King Hassan standing on the hill, and if you know, this is the castle of Alamut, and you can see all of his followers kind of surrounding him and preparing themselves for what's to come. Next, you got another scene of Hassan, and this is easily one of my favorite shots out of the entire trailer. The light is casting
I can see that, yeah.
And then you have all these people surrounding.
You're plenty of great shots too.
Different people from the Nazari sect, and it just goes to show how much they look up to him, and they're looking at him for guidance. I know a lot of people were talking about Hassan of the Silver Spoon. I can't get over this. It's absolutely hilarious. We gotta get him in a Grail War immediately. And if you notice, this is the siege of the Mongols, where he really showed people not to play with him. They tried to run down on Alamut Castle, and they found out the hard way, to the point where they told Hassan, I don't want anything to do with you. Just leave me be. We switch back over to Alexander playing chess. You'll notice some of his most trusted men. To the left, you have Ptolemy, the same pharaoh that will go on to found the Ptolemaic dynasty. In the middle, you have Hephaestion. It's kind of hard to tell because the shading is different in the scene. But he's wearing the exact same thing.
Hephaestion. Oh, okay.
This too was one of his men. And
yeah, I can see it. Yeah, the weapon, and then
hilarious because he looks exactly like what Waver grows up to be. And
Waver.
There's even some case file depictions of them side by side to show just how similar they are. All of them being a part of Alexander's reality marble. So we have a shot that isn't featuring Arthur, and we can see that when Arthur isn't the one in command, naturally the next one up is her nephew Gawain, and he's slowly pulling out Galantine. You got him going down the middle, Lancelot and Tristan off to the left side, and then Mordred and Agravain off to the right side. Very interesting the way that these are positioned as well, because if you know, Mordred and Agravain are also siblings, and they were the ones sent to destroy Camelot via Pan-Human Morgan. And then you have the other side of the table, that being Tristan and Lancelot, who are more so independent and came there via their skills. You have this great shot of Joseph.
This just shows I have a lot to still learn.
100 Years Dragon War.
Yeah, he talking about siblings and stuff, and
dragons in the FGO storyline. Next, we got the first time that Chen Shi Huang pops up in the trailer. Chinese Emperor.
Still definitely a lot. I just don't know.
It also shows the fact that he can manifest and manipulate Mercury as much as he pleases. Then we get a quick view of his Great Wall meteor that he can drop down at will.
Like what is that?
Next, you can see the birth of Arjuna Altar, highlighting the events of Lost Belt 4, and then you can see Karna and Arjuna
my boy Karna
forms, destroying literally everything in sight.
I'm saying that's what he is. Like, come on now.
Purple hooded figure.
It ain't Karna if he ain't being overpowered. Like,
really left field, but this appears to be the angel of death himself, Azrael. You can see him collecting the heads of all the people that's below him. And
yeah, I was like, look like his head is gone, but I couldn't tell.
Who uses Azrael
as
look, phantasm, and you'll see that death is all around him, going back to
I did not see none of that.
All the people that tried to tread on his domain and thought things were going to be sweet. And if you notice, every single one of them has lost their heads.
Yeah, I see that now.
Stilo, it's only respectful that you offer your head in his presence. So I really like that nod that they made. You also see that he's going straight into the crowd by himself. No help. Whole army full of people. And he could care less. All he has is his sword and his will. And that just goes
let me find out more about him.
In the first place.
That's what I want to see more about. Yeah.
All of the knights of the round circling around the table, holding their
it just gives me more people to look at lore videos on or something.
Broken on Excalibur. This is really what that scene should look like. Once the conditions are set, Arthur is then asking the round table for their assistance to unlock each seal. We transition off into the table itself, and you'll see the Battle of Camelon, where Mordred and Artoria are having their one-on-one. Artoria having her Rongominiad, and unfortunately she had to take down her own child. We go back into Joan and Jalter going head up, and Jalter is terrorizing all of France with the newfound power she has, having the time of her life. Also really like this shot with Frankenstein where she's holding herself because there's no love to be spread. Unfortunately, her story is one that's very introspective, so she's the only one that can give love to herself at this point. So although the sword is covered up, you can definitely see by the handle that this is Artoria pitching Excalibur off to Bedivere to have him deliver it back to the Lady of the Lake. We have a bunch of shots surrounding Mash, and she's just surrounded by a ton of books all over the place. And throughout the entirety of the trailer or the movie, you'll see this often, and it just goes to show how much time and effort that she put into consuming and learning as much information as she could to make herself as efficient as possible when she finally did hit the field. Though everything wasn't concrete, she did do a ton of studies. Then you have this one long shot of Artoria. It only shows her face, then it pans out to showing her entire body. Again, another one of my favorite scenes. You can see her reflecting on the events that she had in the past, where she took up a life where she had to show negligence to the people that were closest to her because she thought this would achieve the best results in the grand scheme of things. And then finally it shows this pattern of her own development, and she starts to see with her own eyes that it only left her with nothing. A whole on point, by the way. And you can see multiple transitions of her character still brought her to the same place, and that is when she was on the hill of Camelon before she became a part of the Counterforce. You also see a part of Camelot above her former life. This is kind of Artoria's heroic spirit self looking at her past, and you see Camelot has been completely destroyed and it's all above her, almost as if to say that everything that she hoped and she had wished for were still.
Okay, so I don't even know what that was, just lagged out of nowhere. I can't even like adjust my camera. Okay, but yeah, let's just get right into it. I went back a little, few seconds.
To say that everything that she hoped,
yeah, she hoped and wished for. Okay.
Were still events that were.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but
considering the fact
here we
that
go.
The fall of Camelot was indeed.
Yeah, can we at least finish this? Like, yo,
and then of course you
with
can
no
see
lag.
her soul actually falling out of her vessel. I really like the way that they did that, and she has to leave the world knowing that the mark that she left behind wasn't one that she was satisfied with. Though in the next scene over, if you look, even if she doesn't realize it, there are many people that appreciate her work.
Still people
you can
there.
Also look at it in a way that she was
appreciate worship.
That was frozen in time. Another one in line is the scene where you have an unclothed Alexander the Great, and he's just sitting there holding one of his own coins, and you can see his kingdom, what he had built, is burning in the background, and that's the only thing in the scene. That is to say, you know, we come into this world bare, and it's important to make your mark, because realistically you can't take any of it with you. And I feel like
Dang,
this scene
okay.
showcases that, considering that the coin itself
That's
is one of the
definitely
only
deep right
things
there.
that will be left behind by him, and that coin would have never been made without his contribution to
Okay,
the world.
I
Same
like this
thing
though.
for his
Yeah, it's
kingdom.
just
Next we have
a
a
lot
scene
of
with the
different
sword lodged into the ground,
ways you
and
can
it's
look
the
at
only
this
thing
and
in the
really
shot.
just
This appears to
try
be
and
the sword of
understand it.
Galahad, one of his phantasms.
That I
Galahad
completely
was
missed.
also
Yeah.
a figure that was said to have pulled the sword from the stone. And as you can see, as time lapses in the scene, the sword is slowly turning into stone to represent that. The earth is growing on top of it, and even the background is changing to show the seasons. And the reason why I believe that it's Galahad's sword in particular and not just something like Caliburn is because beyond it having a completely different appearance, the moment the scene is over, MASH closes the book. Mind you that the entire trailer itself is just MASH looking through the book. That's what this is. All of these books that are surrounding her are the stories and the legends and the myths of all these heroes, and we're going on a journey through that alongside her by looking through the book. And so it feels
So
most
just looking at the
appropriate
stories
that
in the book.
person that she synced with, Galahad, to be the last person that she looked into before she closed the book. Next we have this really great shot of Merlin, completely different from the ones that we've seen before. It carries a darker and a more serious tone. You see the stars in the background and the space-like imagery, and you can see that this recognizes the side of Merlin that we haven't got to see. Again, Merlin is proposed to be a potential beast, and so while he does help us out and play this role of the jester, keep in mind that one wrong turn could send us down a path of us going against him. There are many cuts of fallen soldiers and civilians that are going through pain and strife in their life, and it all plays a major role into what the world is. You can't have good times without the bad. You can't have success without failure. You can't have opportunity without misery. You'll see a line of women in prayer, all of them appearing to be of the Hindu heritage, and then the scene immediately transitions to multiple horsemen flowing out through the sky. And if you're familiar with the Testament, this looks to be the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. You can even see each one has their own icon representing what role that they play. And you can see the burning city right under them to sort of represent the end of times. The first one, of course, is the horseman of pestilence or famine. The second one with the golden crown is conquest. The third, the one that's holding the sword over his shoulder, is death. And the crown of thorns that looks to be holding a bow at the very end is war. And the last one makes a lot of sense considering that he is supposed to be the Antichrist. So when he shows up, he is supposed to represent a false idol, an imitator of Christ himself, and then wage war upon the world. And you know Christ had the thorns when he was crucified. We have a real quick shot of Castor Gilgamesh, a lot like the scene we had earlier from Merlin.
For real? Okay.
But in his case,
I guess,
you can
yeah, I
view
definitely
the
missed
past,
that.
present, and the future. And you can view this as him looking over the world in the same sense, literally and figuratively. You'll also notice repetitive imagery of prayer from different cultures and religions to say that though we may not come from the same place, worshiping has always been important. And then you'll see this
that's about with any religion.
Galahad and his silhouettes. Galahad is specifically a figure that was meant to uncover the Holy Grail. He also has counterparts, but mainly a lot of those stories come back to him being the focal of that idea. You'll see a bunch of hands reach out into the stars, and then you'll see one in particular reach through the middle while it's changing. I'm seeing this is himself reaching out to
that was at
all
least
the
the one
heroes,
thing I
and
could
this scene
sort
in
of
particular
understand
reaching
out of
out to
all of
save her
this.
when she was feeling like all was lost. And you can see the same Camelot that
Yeah,
was
everything
torn
opened up.
before is now starting to reform as we pull her into the other side. She's being presented the Holy Sword, one of the most important swords.
Yeah,
to
take your
exist.
sword
It is
back.
the founding part of the world itself. And then after this, you can see her kingdom in the background is completely rebuilt and is actually glowing this time around. The same thing that goes for Iskander. This sort of acts as a contrast to the scene you had before where he was unclothed. Now it's showing a different side where though we're all fated to pass away, your efforts and what you leave behind can forever leave you immortalized. And you'll see multiple servants soaring throughout the sky. You have Jalter, Karna, and Arjuna in the background, King Hassan, Huang, and Merlin, an entire league of saber faces. You have Base Artoria, Lancer Artoria, Artoria Lily, and then of course Salter. Likewise, you have this.
I guess Lily was the one with the white sort of dress there. I guess like the one I have not seen at all.
Ashwatthama, Medea Lily, Anastasia, Percival, Nightingale, and once again you'll see the scene with MASH and another scene with all the books in the background, and you can see Galahad's silhouette is highlighted once again. Multiple servants that we've called out to throughout our journey, and they continue to.
I literally only know like
heroes, some of which being Okita, Castor Gill,
bro. Okay, I see. I was about to say one person. I see
Charlemagne,
Shido, Musashi,
Miyamoto
yeah.
in the middle, Oda Nobunaga, Muramasa, and also.
But I can't really tell though.
And then there's even more. The rest of the scenes really speak to the importance of our fight and how much humanity matters that we would go to such lengths, and how much these spirits matter, considering that they would go out of their way to lend their help to make things right again, even when they don't have to. It's meant to be a beautiful thing, and it certainly is. Shout out to Hiromasu Shu and anybody else that worked on this project as well. You guys did a fantastic job.
Okay, and that's it. All right, so I think we're good, right? It's recording fine. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that lag. I don't even know. I was literally just trying to adjust my camera, and I guess, well, how I saw it, it kind of started before I even started. I tried to adjust it. But besides all that, we still got it done. We still got the reaction out. But I'm at least happy that I could understand. Okay, yeah, I was about to say, did I go too far? This at least right here. So, I mean, I could kind of see, like, it looked like Saber, you know, like, how he was talking about, like, yeah, just trying to leave it all behind and add a note, or just me sort of just summing it up real quickly. Yeah, leaving it all behind, feeling like, yeah, she just wasn't satisfied with none of this, and no, it just took that one hand to reach out and be like, here, you know, come back, you know, take your sword back, you know, and then everything's just getting reformed, everything's just getting rebuilt. Yeah, just everything opening up. So yeah, that's pretty much the one thing I could take away from that. Yeah, everything else is just happening so quick. I'm like, literally right here. I didn't even know he had a coin. Like, yeah, it's just those little things that I just don't notice. And this goes to show, like, yeah, I'm still pretty new. Yeah, I've been looking at sort of things like this for a while now, but it's like, yeah, I'm just still new. Like, yeah, it's just little things I haven't even seen. Literally, in the first part here, I mean, there's like a million things going on at once. So, yeah, literally just going from Iskandar to, John, and all in this one, literally just all in just these first 10 seconds here. Then things being related to like a painting and all, like, yes. Yeah, I never would have even been, I wouldn't even know anything about that. And then also goes to show like how I've been known from now, or here for a while now. Fate, I'm still new. Like, I think I've only gone like 30%, 40% really done with how much, you know, like lore and, you know, like noble phantasms, knowing about all the spirits and heroes and all. Yeah, I feel like I'm only like 30-40% done. Like, literally, yeah, I mean, I could sort of, let's see if I can get a good image. Like, literally, I know like 4 people here, because, you know, it's main people that I obviously know about. But like on the left, I think, yeah, that was the same guy with that, let me see if I can find it. I'm like, nah, okay, yeah, right here, this attack, I'm like, yeah, and I know there's plenty of attacks like this, but yeah, I'm just like, nah, What is that? Then you have, well, also, yeah, that with the siblings thing. Yeah, I just need to know all about that. Yeah, because Mordred, yeah, I was trying to understand that. I'm like, wait, what? You know, talking about son and daughter and this and that during a Fate Apocrypha. Yeah, I was really trying to understand that. Um, then this guy, yeah, I like characters like this, just hard. Like, he's not with it. Like, if you're within my presence, if you're looking me eye to eye, or if you just know I'm here, you know what you gotta give up. And I just like that. Yeah, just got a whole. It's like it's a whole different vibe when he comes through, and yeah, like I said, small things like this. Like, yeah, I clearly saw, um, everybody. They're down, but I did not see the heads just completely gone. You know, yeah, even here, I'm like, that scene looks a little weird. I'm looking at it on the but yeah, you guys can see that on the bottom left there. I'm like, it looked like his head is gone, but I'm like, I don't know. I guess that's probably just how it looks. I could not tell. No, it was gone. Yeah. So yeah, this is just definitely one of those characters I would love to learn about. Um, Well, yeah. Also, him as well, right here. I think I have seen him, but yeah, yeah. Learning about all of this right here, yeah. Um, then what? Yeah, he said Hephaestus, right? Yeah, I just saw El Malloy, so yeah, that's the male version. I saw the female. Um, and I could see it. Yeah, the weapon and it kind of like the attire and all. Yeah, it's similar. Um, and that's crazy. This is all just simply, was it Mosh, looking at just reading the book, or like, yeah, just showing everything that's going on in this book. Yeah, I didn't even know that. Um, yeah, it's definitely something else. Yeah, and I didn't even see the body. Like, I could clearly tell Frankenstein. I know what she looks like. Um, yeah, she definitely left an impact on me from Apocrypha. Plenty of characters did that. Um, yeah, left that impact on me to where it's like, yeah, I can't even forget that. Especially Karna. Like, I will never forget that episode with that him. I think it was Achilles. Kate. I will never forget that. That was the hands down best animation I've ever seen from Fate, at least from like a fight. This right here, the movie, yeah, this is definitely the best. But for fighting and all that, or at least from an episode, Fate Apocrypha, that one episode alone, I think one episode or two, it was just crazy. Like nah, like that was just crazy. Um, but yeah, I cannot see that. Like, it really was blending in with the ice and all here. Um, yeah, and then the same thing with this here. Like, yeah, I could even tell. Yeah, I mean, well, I could at least tell something, sad happened here, but yeah, I would even be able to know. Um, but yeah, there's still a lot of characters I need to know about. Yeah, especially just in general, like the main ones. Like, yeah, I think Round Table. Um, yeah, just know a lot more about. Well, then this guy here, looking at us here. Well, can you? Yeah, you guys can see. Oh, well, you can. Let me see if I get a better shot. Um, or did I go past it? Oh yeah, okay, right here. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, because I've seen him a lot more now. yeah, learn a lot more about him, um, and just plenty of other characters. Yeah, but I mean, this is Fate Grand Order, so yeah, I'm still pretty new to Grand Order. Um, because mostly I'll just see AMV. So yeah, of course I wouldn't know what's going on. Yeah, there's no names I'd be able to just simply hear and remember. Just like how I can't even remember his. Yeah, Tsiah said it like plenty of times. And I'm like, I'm just trying to remember all this extra. But yeah, I'm gonna just end this off here. This was definitely informative. Definitely just has me like, yeah, I just gotta understand and see all the small details. Like, yeah, plenty of things that I did not see. Um, but yeah, next time, yeah, Fate does something like this, or I just look at something similar, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to understand it better and just see the small details. You know, what are they really trying to portray? Yeah, what are they really trying to show us here? What do they mean by just simply doing this or that? Um, but overall, hope you guys did enjoy this. Make sure you like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll just see you guys in the next one.